What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite boys.
Leave us alone. Get out of my room!
Leave me alone, Dad.
You better not go into my closet, Dad.
We are the Bourbonists. -1. Which, put a little disclaimer out there. It's going to be normal.
And Joseph's not gone.
He's not gone.
He's
he's having his second kid.
Well, his wife is.
Right. He's not.
Correct.
Because,
guys can't have babies.
That's just careful.
No. They're stupid.
Well. Smokin, Tantin. Shout out to
Ryan. We love you, buddy. You're our boy. Always will be.
Oh, man.
Next time you come up to St. Louis, cigars on you.
Yes. You own your own now, so
Yeah.
not trying to be a dick or anything, but
No, we want to try them. We want to taste them. We want to support.
Mm-hmm.
But
I forgot how good these were. I haven't had one of these in like
very good.
6 months, dude.
And these are a little dry.
That says something
Yeah.
about your humidifying skills and the skill of the cigar.
Well, it's not my skill. I just haven't done it. So,
Oh, man, that's good.
lack of responsibility.
And then we're going to go ahead and go with the...
You want to start with that one? Have you had that?
I have not.
No. We're going to start with... So, this is a very impromptu episode. Adam and I were just going to hang out tonight, and I was like, you know what? Let's just make an episode of it. He said, great idea. So, you hear that, Mom? I'm not a complete retard. So, I got this bottle.
Did you mean that by the fact that I told you it was a great idea?
No,
You hear that, Mom? Your boy has good ideas.
No, you didn't even say it was a good idea. You just said, yeah, let's do it.
Give me that class.
Give me your ass. So, we're cracking open a bottle that I've recently bought from Nobletons. It is a single barrel.
Yep. Single barrel.
And it is 100% rye. It's called the Pecan Pie. I tried a little bit of this at the distillery last time I was there, and they told me they're selling
By
bottles.
George, it was fantastic.
They said, buy a bottle. And I said,
By George, buy a bottle.
take my wallet.
Take all my money.
But this is a fantastic offering. So, shout out to Ryan. Thanks for the cigars. You didn't give us it. I bought them.
But thanks
to
for
support
making
you.
them, dude.
You're welcome. And then this, Demetrius. Shout out to you and your
whole
craft
team.
You did not give this. I bought it. So you're welcome.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers to friends,
And
good times, and money, bitch.
oh my.
Dude, I just got straight green apple.
It's called pecan pie. Search for the pecans.
No, I'm not gonna. No, you can't tell me what I taste. I will not give in. I got straight green apple.
Nobletons has ruined me
Yes.
on everything else.
I'm a spoiled brat when it comes to whiskey.
My gosh.
I'll taste a great bottle, a $50 bottle I'll get from Wine and Cheese Place. I'll take a sip and go, it's not Nobletons.
Yeah, right. It doesn't taste like that. Oh, I got pie crust.
Did you?
Yeah.
A little bit of
I
that
got pie crust.
crumbly bread.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
It's
amazing on the nose.
and ryes are spicy. There's no spice to this guy.
There's a little bit on the back end. I would
Okay,
say.
a little. Yeah, I mean,
Like
I'm
almost
getting a little
baking
heartburn, but
spice. I kind of want to throw up, but wait a minute. Nope, that's stomach acid.
Ryan, you make a phenomenal cigar, my friend. Wow.
Oh, dude.
Tantin.
Yeah,
right.
I'm just getting fruit on the whiskey. Like citrus. There's like it's just a really fruity, zesty, and I don't mean gay, but it makes me gay because it makes me happy.
Okay, there you go.
You thought I was going to go somewhere else with that?
I don't know. Oh, man. So let's do the ultimate test. Let's take a puff, take a drink.
Ooh. Yo.
Yep. Chocolate pie.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% right. Now, granted, I think when you said chocolate pie, that's where my mind went, oh my God, that's what that sweetness is. But it's a darker, almost candy, but not candy as in like...
It's not like an M&M chocolate.
No, I'd say it's like a pure...
Cacao.
Yeah.
Cacao. However you say it. I've done this in the podcast before, but you know, cacao. Whatever.
Listen, don't yell at me.
Oh, man. All right, let's go.
Yeah, that's a word that you're like allowed to choke, and everyone goes, I know what you're saying. 95%. Yes, I get on the tongue too. Leave me alone.
Let me
eat my dark chocolate.
Yeah, right. I saw the other day.
Let me feel healthy for eating chocolate.
I saw the other day that like 90 or it's like 80% or better dark chocolate is like almost close to an antihistamine, or not antihistamine, but like pain reliever, and like it's just so good for you. I don't know how believable that is, but
well, I think the issue our society takes is, you know, some people say, there are things in red wine that do
antioxidants
that do help, you know, on the antioxidant side. And then people go, oh my God, red wine's good for you. Give me that bottle. And it's like, calm down.
Chill, dude.
I said some things in here, yes, have antioxidant properties. Not the entire thing is an antioxidant, and you should slurp it down like it's water.
Yeah, correct.
Let's calm down. So, yes, I think there are things. Now, I don't know a whole lot, so I'm not going to sit here and act like an expert. But
sure,
I do think, yeah, I've heard there are some things in dark chocolate that can help with certain aspects of, would you say, inflammation, or just at least helping manage.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, guess what? We're wrong. Shut up and keep listening. But
No, we're right. It's okay.
Yeah, so shut up and keep listening. But yeah, it's important. Don't take that out of context. Okay? Dark chocolate can still be bad for you. Wine can still be bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in moderation. Bunch of psychopaths.
Yeah, dude. Americans are psychopaths. Like, all the rules are just for us. Like, in Europe, you can drink at 18. Like, or is it 16?
Dude, families over in Europe will let their 8-year-olds drink wine, or Germans beer at the table. But that's to help ingrain in your kids. This is supposed to be a social thing. You're here with family. We're enjoying family time. So sit here, have a little bit of beer, have a little bit of wine. But again, they're trying to teach moderation, and also that this thing you shouldn't be scared of it. Because my dad tells this all the time. This is why we were allowed. This is why we were allowed to, we were allowed to drink beer at home if we were with the family.
Yeah.
It's because my dad had especially had a couple friends going in from high school into college to where they wouldn't even look at alcohol because their parents were like, if I catch you with alcohol, I'm going to beat your ass,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So they had this fear of alcohol, like it was this horrible thing. And they got to college, they went to their first college party and just got knee walking drunk. And then they'd be like, oh my God, my parents were keeping a good thing from me. And so they would go throughout college just being knee walking drunk. A couple of his friends ended up dying in a car wreck because they were driving drunk.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean,
Took a dark turn there, Dan.
You're welcome. But pain is one of the greatest teachers.
Yeah.
I think my dad did took wisdom out of that and saying, it's the same thing with guns. Like, people are so afraid to let their kids around guns, but it's like the more you install fear into something and then your kids go out and experience it on their own, they're going to recognize, oh, this thing isn't that bad. But the problem is you weren't there teaching them how to respect it, how to come to a deeper understanding on what it is and how to manage it and be responsible around it. In which your kids are more likely to do something really stupid than if you would have just brought them in, helped them come to understand this thing, what alcohol, guns, whatever the case. Now, I'm not saying do that with heroin, but guns and alcohol specifically, like these are things that if you just allow your kids to come, enjoy them.
Sure.
They're meant to be enjoyed. Shooting a gun is one of the funnest things to do in life.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
But you as a parent, you have an opportunity to allow your child to experience something that does exhibit or that brings happiness. And you can also teach them to respect it. Right? With a gun, you teach them this thing is a weapon that can kill.
Yeah.
But it's all dependent upon the person using it. Are they acting negligent? Do they understand their surroundings? Right? You got to teach your kids the four ultimate rules when it comes to gun safety.
Sure.
Alcohol. You got to teach them, hey, listen, if you have too much of this, you have a less chance at being able to say no or being able to be responsible with your choices.
Mm-hmm.
And so this thing should be respected. Like, you should understand, okay, you're 2 glasses in or wherever your tolerance is. Okay, I'm getting near where my tolerable limit is. I should start to cut back. Maybe drink some water, get something to eat. Maybe stop.
Yeah.
Be able to say no. Have that discipline to be able to say no so that way you can make it home safe.
Right.
Same thing with a gun. That's why alcohol and guns are never a good idea at mixing. You can do it as long as you are extremely disciplined at both.
Mm-hmm. It's discipline. Mm-hmm. It's discipline and self-awareness.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to light again because you're talking too much.
Yeah. I had like 5 different things I wanted to say, and it just kind of all hit my brain at once, and then my brain just shut down.
Oh. Been yeah, I've been really thinking about self-awareness recently.
It's a good thing to reflect on constantly.
Yeah. Just a lot of junk happening. Not necessarily in the family, but just a lot of stuff going down, like at work and things like that, and just really forcing me to, like, I'm in a season of life of staring in the mirror, and like, I think I don't know. I think there is a trying to find the right words. There's a level of self-awareness that people think they have, and then there's a level of self-awareness that actually needs to be had. I think
So people aren't being honest with themselves.
yeah, and a lot of people will. I heard this term the other day. Like play hopscotch with their character. They will change their situation because the situation is too difficult or too hard. And then when they find success in another situation, then they blame that last situation that they were in for the bad successes, for the failures. So like, for example, for me, and this is very true, I've had a lot of different jobs. And only over the last decade have I held things down for a long time. And one, I got let go because of COVID, and another one I got let go because it was a smaller company. They couldn't afford to keep me. But like, I've had longevity in my, mid 20s to early 30s, or almost mid 30s, I guess. But I would get to a point where the job would bore me, or the honeymoon phase of the job was over and it got hard, or things didn't go right, or whatever. And you've said this before, in every single situation, even if 99% isn't your fault, you still need to take accountability for something. And I would take accountability to the point of all the positives, but I would collect them over the last, let's say I had a job for like 3 years, and I would collect the positives, and then when something would go wrong, or in this case, something goes categorically wrong, or like sales are down, or whatever. And I would look at that and go, yeah, but I was great before, so why are you mad at me now? Or, I was working hard. I've been working hard most of this job. Okay, maybe there was a point where you weren't. But then I would leave that job and go find something better, or what I thought was better, because that job was giving me too much turmoil and there was too much stress and whatever. And then I would find successes in the new job. And then I would look back at the old job and go, yeah, see, I told you, it shouldn't be that way. It should be the way that it is right now. Well, that's just finding new successes. That's not changing your character or building yourself. Am I making sense?
Well, my mind immediately went to the extreme as an example.
Okay.
So, let's say you're working for a company for a couple years, and all of a sudden, right, you've done a decent amount of sales, and then all of a sudden you hit $1 million sale, bring in $1 million.
Yeah.
But after about a month, something happens in which you burn down the office, and then the manager goes, let's just take, it's me, for example. Dan,
Sure.
what the hell's wrong with you? Why would you burn down my office? You'd go, dude, the hell's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? I brought you $1 million in sales.
Yeah.
And then you go hopscotch to him. Like, that's an extreme.
That's an extreme. It's an extreme, but it makes it, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Right. I haven't committed arson, but there was some lackadaisical things, and I kind of let personal life get in the way of professional for a little bit, and it's starting to show, and now I got to make up for it. And I spent the last few weeks just really mad at my job and really angry at my situation. And like, what the hell? I'm the number 2 employee in the company. Like that's pretty awesome. And the only reason I'm not number 1 is because, well, he's just better. But he's just better at sales. But like, why are you bitching at me? Why are you complaining? I'm number 2 in the company. Doesn't that say something? Well, but you're not acting like number 2 in the company. You may have gotten yourself there, but you're not acting like it right now. So I have to figure out what's wrong internally. I've got to stare at the mirror long enough not to look at the little, blemishes, and not for 10 seconds to be like, hey, am I good enough to, like, am I bleeding? Can I go outside and go out in public? Like, I have to look in the mirror long enough to look inside and be like, not to be a cliche, but mirror, mirror on the wall, what do you see? Because clearly I'm not looking hard enough at what's to blame here. And you start blame shifting. Because if you don't get to the point of self-awareness, or if you don't get enough self-awareness, then you blame shift. And you start, well, it was because of this, and then this, and then this. And it got to the point where, like, my wife had to sit me down and be like, you're doing it again. Which, by the way, wives are supposed to challenge you. And if you find somebody who doesn't, I mean, great job, but you just have more work on your shoulders. Like, your wife is supposed to be, like, people, it's such a, like, Nicholas Sparks novel kind of shit, where they're just like, the love will carry us through. No, it won't.
Well, it will. You just don't understand the definition of love.
Yeah.
Because real love is when a husband,
Real love is not a feeling.
a wife, or you can swap the chairs. A husband to a wife.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm not trying to shit on your parade, but when you do this, it does X, Y, and Z. But again, it's not the whole thing. Like, true love is being able to call out your partner's shortcomings.
Yeah.
Not for the sake of being able to call them out to be like, listen, this is where you're falling short. It's
right.
In order to get that person to a higher place so they are able to love themselves and love others more.
Right.
They're able to understand themselves. They're able to be more joyful because they understand, this is where I'm going wrong. Let me try and fix it. I'm sorry. And the key is, when you bring up each other's shortcomings, you got to let the other person know, listen, this is you and me. We're on a team. But again, a team is only as strong as its weakest link.
Right.
And I don't want this team to fail.
Right.
It's the same reason why Michael Jordan was viewed as a complete asshole on his team. But he knew that his team was better than they were when Jordan was riding them. So he would ride them to be like, listen, I understand what it takes to get this ring. I understand all of you want the ring.
Yeah.
It's the champion. You're the best team in the league because you showed up every day and you did your work. You may not have had the best record, but guess what? You got the ring. And I understand all of you. That's why you're there in the NBA. That's why you play sports, whatever the case may be.
Right.
In order to do that, I'm going to be an asshole because I know I can see when you're not acting up to your potential.
Right.
And then you have to be able to communicate that properly to your partner, to your team, to whoever you're trying to call higher, to help them come to understand you're not trying to dog on them just because you feel like they're acting like shit or they're playing like crap. It's because you know that they're better and you want to try to hone and pull that out.
Yeah.
But to play devil's advocate in your situation, I can see from me being an outsider, I can go, this is just another example of the corporate field, right? What have you done for me lately? Right? What I do is never good enough, right? I always have to continue to do more and do more and do more because you get pleased for about 5 seconds with if I do something good, but then you're always dogging on me when I do something bad.
Yeah.
And so that's where, the question is, okay, well, how much of that is actually pride to go, see, you're dogging on me now? Because maybe I haven't had a sale in a couple weeks. Maybe I haven't. So that's where, like, there are questions to both sides that I think need to be checked. And I don't mean checked as in, like, halted. I mean checked as in, like, come to understand. There are questions on both sides that and I honestly think a good leader is able to look at both sides at all times. That's why it is much better to start at the very bottom of a position and work your way up through a company, hitting every other position underneath you so you understand the people who you are responsible for, you understand them. Instead of somebody coming in and becoming manager from another company when your company does things in a specific way. I'm not saying you can't come in from another company at all. But if you haven't worked your way up from, basically, to use military terms, if you haven't started as a private, working your way up, or like compared to when you just go to ROTC and you come in as an officer, people who have worked their ass off from day one as a private and gone through the ranks the hard way, they understand the people who are beneath them more because they've gone through it. They understand the questions that may come up.
Yeah.
They understand the situation a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something that when we were talking yesterday, I was like ranting and raving about just life and shit and just kind of word vomiting all over you. And then I said something that I feel like was divine intervention, and it just came out of my mouth. But I was talking about other people who I know that are very successful, and then they choose to lead and be support to those who are in hardship. And it bothers me when I know that there are certain people I know that just kind of, and you know those people who just kind of like, not spoon-fed everything, but everything just kind of works out for them.
It seems like
everything,
gold.
Right? Like everything just kind of works out for them. And I said in the middle of this rant, I was just like, how in the world can you possibly be a good leader if you haven't been in the trenches? And then I felt like the Holy Spirit was like, hold up.
Yeah.
What did you just say? Why don't you go say that to yourself in the mirror? If you are in the trenches currently and you're begging for God to get you out of them, sit, marinate, simmer, whatever adjective you want to, or whatever verb you want to use, and wait. Because maybe you're in the trenches because he's going to use you later to help other people out of their trenches.
Not maybe. That's the reason why we all go through crap. Is because someone down the line is going to come, say something, even if it's just one phrase, and it's going to hit that chord with us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, God's going to use that in a way to... I hate to say motivate. Console is a better term. You're going to be better suited to console them in their time of need.
Yeah.
Because watching Band of Brothers, one of my favorite series.
Yeah.
I cannot for the life of me remember. There was a guy who came in charge after Winters kind of gets out from more of the combat role and into a bigger leading position. So he's not. So throughout the entire series up to this episode, which I believe is like episode 6, 5 or 6, because it's right before they do the Battle of the Bulge. Winters wasn't the complete leader up until maybe episode 2 or 3. Once they get out of training. And D-Day has already happened. They're in France. Winters gets a promotion, but he was always so he becomes leader of Easy Company. He is always the first one into a fight, always, and he's the leader.
Yeah,
always the first one. And there are numerous times throughout those first couple episodes in which the privates and the people underneath him are talking to each other, and they're saying, Winters I respect. He seems like a good man. He seems like a good leader. But it's in regards to their current leader at the time, and they're always like, well, this guy's a piece of shit or whatever.
Right.
And the leader that's always a piece of shit seems to be the guy who never went through every single position going up. Seems like they're almost just kind of handed it. Now, the first leader at the start, the first episode, he was an ass. And the actor was supposed to play an asshole.
Yeah.
Just completely ground these people into the dust physically.
Yeah.
But Winters comes up, always respects his soldiers, but always asks more of them if he knows that if he needs more out of them, like as in, hey, listen, everyone's about to die if you don't do your job, kind of thing. But you get to the Battle of the Bulge, so he's always. Let me dial back. My ADHD is roaring right now. Winters is the leader everyone looks up to, going up to the Battle of the Bulge. Right before he gets a promotion, so now he's out of combat and more in like a back position, more of like a I think it's major.
Yeah.
Is the position he gets. I could be wrong. And all of a sudden, this guy comes in out of nowhere because he happens to know a few people, and so he gets the position of lieutenant to be able to take over the company. And this guy, whenever decisions need to be made, this leader goes off and basically runs away from the decision because he doesn't want to be. And even the soldiers in the company can see it. They're like, this is just so he can fly through the ranks. Even one of the soldiers says it feels like Easy Company was given to him and it's just a burden to him because it's a stopgap for him. But he was given the position because he knew some people that could put him in that position so he can grow and promote him and get promotions career-wise. And so things happen to where they're through the Battle of the Bulge. Somehow this lieutenant, I cannot remember his name. It's like Dyke. I think it's Lieutenant Dyke. For anyone who watches this, get in the comments and let me know if I'm wrong. But so Lieutenant Dyke comes in. He doesn't make a decision. Winters calls upon him personally after being told by a couple people, Lieutenant Dyke is horrible. He's a shell of a man in a uniform. He's going to get us all killed. Now, granted, Winters can't do anything, so he comes up, sits with him personally, goes over the plan, says, this is what you have to do. Dyke, are you listening? Listen to me. This is what you have to do. You have to push this position, and you cannot stop. Dyke goes, I understand. So they go in with the attack. Dyke ends up like seeing something off, and he stops everyone when there is no cover. He stops everyone because he's starting to panic.
Yeah.
And Winters is screaming at him from the back, go, you have to go. You cannot stop. Mm-hmm. But he ends up stopping, and he ends up having a panic attack because he didn't go through the ranks. He didn't understand everything that's going on because he was just given this position. And then all of a sudden, Winters literally grabs a gun while he's right next to like the head guy leading this entire thing. Winters grabs a gun and starts running out. And his commanding officer goes, Winters, you cannot go out there. You're a major. You can't do this. And then he ends up running back, calling upon someone he knows and trusts will get the job done. And I can't remember if that... I know his last name is Spears. So Spears ends up coming in and saving the whole thing. Because he comes in, goes, Lieutenant Dyke, I'm taking over.
Yeah.
As Dyke's having a panic attack behind a hay bale. Spears comes in, tells everyone what's going to happen, and they end up full sprinting in. He ends up getting the job done. But you're given the skills and the wisdom, honestly, is it. You're given the wisdom to be able to understand the people underneath you more if you've gone through their shit that they're going to be going through.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why I was on a flight recently, and the flight attendants always do like the safety and everything at the beginning, and if it gets to the point where oxygen is low on the plane and the masks drop, they give it specific instructions. If you have a child, put your mask on first. Because you're older, you understand things, the child will not.
Right.
You've lived life, and you're like, without you, if you go and save them first without yourself and then you pass out, what's going to happen to your kid? Mm-hmm. And then on the, yeah. So I've just kind of been in this spiral of What? Because I'll be honest, like I've been, just really struggling with it, and things that are going on, and I do tend to blame shift, and I do tend to find things to point fingers at, right? And again, my wife sat me down and she was like, "You're doing it again. You are at the point in your job where things are getting really hard. And it's just for a moment. Like, they'll get better, hopefully. But you're at that moment where you want to cut and run. And you think that because you've had a string of unfortunate events, or more appropriately, like it's kind of like an elongated waiting game, to where a lot of effort has to be put in before monetary value is shown, if that makes sense.
Or before any value?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just a lot of waiting, and it's a lot of like effort before reward. And so there's just been a ton of effort with very little reward recently. And so my wife was like, but it's happening again. Like, don't dive into, well, I guess I gotta, like, don't get to the point where you're like, I guess I gotta find a new job.
Don't walk away before you reap the rewards of the effort you already put in.
Right. Well, and then I was talking to my father-in-law about this, and one of our favorite like family movies, her family and my family, is Facing the Giants. It was a Christian football movie. And there's an elderly gentleman that goes to this school. He's like a side character, but there's a coach at this school, and he's thinking about, like, you know, he's having another rough season, and everybody wants him to leave because they think it's all his fault, and so he's like debating on whether he needs to leave the coaching position or whatever. And there's this guy that prays for the school and all the students every single day. And he walks into his office one morning and he goes, the Lord told me to come tell you, you are to bloom where you have been planted. Stop trying to find a way out. Bloom where you're planted. You've been given everything you need. And so he leaves his office. He's like, I just thought that you needed to hear that today. And he walks out, and the coach goes out after him, and he's like, what do you mean by that? Like, do you honestly believe the Lord told me to tell you that, or told you to tell me that? And he's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, well, I'm kind of at a crossroads here. What am I supposed to do? He said, there's two farmers. They are praying and praying and praying for rain because there's been a drought. And then after they pray, one of the farmers goes to his field and he prepares as if there's going to be rain. And the other farmer just sits and waits on God's answer. Which one do you think profited more when the rain finally did come? Bloom where you're planted. And that's kind of where I've been, is just at this place of like, God save me. And then I just sit. And he's like, God doesn't work that way. Like, occasionally I believe that he'll hand you things or opportunities. But if there's potential for growth, he's not just going to be like, okay, here you go. No need to learn your lesson. You can just have all the things that you've been praying for. And then, just go your merry way. He's not a genie. And I think a lot of people treat him that way.
Well, and I'd like to kind of expound on God's not a genie, because sometimes when you pray for something, even extremely fervently, righteously, or how you feel righteously, it doesn't matter how hard you try, how pious you're acting, what you're doing. sometimes God's answer is no.
Yeah.
What do you do then? I mean, that's where the question of, okay, well then do I get up and leave? Do I leave this situation? Are you telling me to, no, this isn't the path I'm calling you towards? Then at that point it's like, okay, well, I'm not like, at least the way I think of things is I'm not going to jump this route without a route to land on. Like, I'm not just going to jump up and go, take me. Like, I need to be able to.
That was
Crazy.
That was graphic.
Kind of crazy. I'm not just going to jump up and go limp. Like, I need to at least be able to see another route and go, okay, here's another opportunity. However far it goes, at this point, I feel like I'm being blocked, and I feel like I can't go through it, can't go around it. So at this point, maybe I am being called to leave this route and go another route. But I need to be able to see another route. And that's where there are a lot of times in which I do feel like God is asking you to wait. Because there are certain things that he has already planted that God is asking us to wait for it to bloom. Basically, I've already planted the seed. I need you to bloom where you're planted.
Yeah.
Because if there was zero things for you to learn at this point on this route, I would have called you to jump already. But because I'm not, because I haven't shown you a place to jump, let's just bloom where you're planted. Let's wait. And then here shortly, I mean, again, shortly is kind of shortly and soon are kind of, I feel like, useless words coming from God. Since God is outside the bounds of time and space. So at that point, like, I don't know. I feel like if you ever hear those words from God, God's just saying, again, hold on, but have hope.
Yeah.
And that's where, for me, in that kind of scenario, it'd be hard for me to, well, I guess more so, my first question would be, okay, well, am I supposed to continue down this path, or am I supposed to jump ship?
Yeah. And you're just kind of looking for...
I'm kind of looking for an answer, but my answer is more through like an opportunity that comes to either make money somewhere else, to make a living that I can take care of my family somewhere else.
Right. Oh, what is that scripture? Is it 11? There it is, yeah. It's Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. So having faith and having hope is understanding that you won't always see it. Understanding that you won't always see the next path or the next step forward assuredly. Because our assurance lies with him.
Yeah. So sometimes you do kind of have to take a jump and go limp.
Mm-hmm. And...
But then that calls it, at least to me, that calls into question, okay, well, if you were asking for this thing and things may have been going well on this one path and all of a sudden things aren't, and you're questioning whether to go find another opportunity, another position somewhere else, or do I just drudge through the trenches, take my stand, fight, and get through this? All of that kind of calls into question, I think, ultimately, what have you put your hope in?
Yeah.
Because I think that's why a lot of times there are a lot of things that we ask God for that we don't get.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what are you asking for?
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this guy was in his prayer time, and was just thanking God and was talking. I forget what his conversation with God was about, but he said that he felt the Lord tell him, don't be surprised if you make money your source of, what was it? Don't be surprised if you make money the answer to your problem, and then you end up having more problems. Because the Bible does specifically say we serve a jealous God. Not that, in which jealousy is a sin, right? So then you got to look at it in context. He's jealous for us. Like, he sits there knowing how great of a life that he has for you. And he's jealous for you, as in he just hopes that you understand, and he hopes that you can turn to him so that you can see that. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
And so, but watch him watch him create more problems and make money prove it. And I think I've talked to you about this. But that carries into everything. Like, if you make something else your God, God will prove it to you that that's not. He'll keep putting you into situations where it goes south, and you look at it and you go, but I thought this was the answer. And he goes, yeah, I'm trying to prove that it's not. I'll prove to you that that's not the answer. I'll prove to you that God is not worth worshiping. Even though you're not bowing on your knees and like, you know what I mean?
Money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not bowing to money, but it goes back to that self-awareness. Are you? Are you bowing to money? Are you bowing to your job? Are you bowing to some people, are you bowing to your family? Like,
Yeah,
are you?
what is? I won't even say it because I'm a butcher at bad. But it goes along the lines of Jesus talking about if you put, the ones who put their mother and father above me, the ones who put their wife, their children.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't say the love of the Father's not in him, but he basically says, like, at that point, you're not mine, because you're going off in a different direction.
Right.
Even though I'm asking you to take care and be responsible for the things I've given you, you're putting the things I've given you above me.
Right. Exactly.
It's like the bridegroom it's like the bride putting the ring that her husband gave her to become her wife, his wife. Wow. That's bad. It's like the bride putting the ring above her new husband.
Yeah.
When her husband was the one who gave it to her.
Right. So what are you making your God? Are you self-aware enough to understand that there are things that you are putting above the actual solution, and then hoping that it will come out to be the solution again? And I'll be honest, for me, it's been money most of my life, which is probably why I've never made a ton of it. Because a lot of my decisions throughout my life have just been, I need to just make money so I can survive. I've not actually, like, this podcast is the first time in my life where I actually took a step and put effort towards something without the true expectation of, this is going to be a money something someday. Now, it's turning into that, which is great. And I would love to do this forever. Sports bourbonist. And yet, it's still, like, this is, honestly, this podcast is therapy for me at this point. It just gets everything out in the open. And I hope, and we have reached an audience, and they have commented, and they love us, and they listen, but like, how much of my life am I spending hoping that, How much of my life am I spending thinking that just my hard work alone will get me somewhere? Or because like, this will...
What does this... go ahead, you're on something.
Yeah, I just go on a rant here for a second. Like, the most egotistical people are those who seek control all the time. Mm-hmm. You don't want control so that because you think that you can do it better than anybody else, and you can because I'm here to tell you, friend, you cannot do it better than everyone else all the time. Someone will know more than you. Someone will be able to handle things better than you. But people who want control are just ego freaks because you want credit.
When things go good, you want all of the praise.
Right.
Right? You want people to go, you did a great job. You did a great job. Look at you. Mm-hmm. You want the attention.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking attention is love.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you it's not. Because I can give you some attention and still think you're an asshole.
Yeah, that's correct.
Guess what? You don't have my love. Screw you.
Well, we love all people. But
debatable. I don't like a lot of people.
Doesn't mean you can't love them.
I don't hate them.
Oh, then, well.
Okay, here, listen.
Dan's backpedaling.
I dislike/hate the things you say. I dislike/hate the things you think. I dislike/hate. I dislike/hate a lot of people's ideas. I don't hate you. Because I know deep down there's a good person inside of you. You're just letting your shithole bipolar other side... no, not bipolar, I'm sorry. Multi-personality. You're letting the bad guy come through. Or bad woman. I dislike both genders.
Dan dislikes both genders.
Yeah, guys, you heard it here first, and I'm asexual.
That's good to know. I guess. But yeah, that was just a little...
Yeah, I hate you too.
Just a little rant that I came across the other day.
Well, I agree.
Or a thought pattern that I kind of...
I agree.
People who need control need praise.
Absolutely. I mean, what does the Western culture primarily put out to now both men and women? Originally, it was just men.
Right.
Now it's to men and women. Go get your money. Go put in work. Go work your ass off, and you'll make something of yourself. All of that is in regards to getting people's view, getting people's attention, with the hopes of them going, wow, look at that person.
Yeah.
Look at the car he or she drives.
Yeah.
Look at the money they go in. Look at the money they bring in. Look at the house they live in. Look at that person. I want to be like them.
Yeah.
When it's like, most of the time, if people even have the awareness of you to even have a full sentence come into their mind thinking about you, it's like, wow, person's driving a cool car. So the attention's actually on the car, not you who's driving it.
Yep.
When you have a nice car, people come up to talk to you about your car. People come up to talk to you about your house when you have a nice house. Not about you and what you did to achieve it.
Yeah.
Most of the time. I'm sure some people are like, wow, what do you do? Oh, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
Great. They don't go in and go, oh, so what cases have you done? Mm-hmm. Right? Especially if you're a corporate lawyer. No one's been like, what businesses have you done? What lawsuits have you dealt with? What... People are like, oh, this is a nice house. What are you doing with this? This is a nice car. How fast does it go? What's the engine size? How much gas does it take? How much money you spend on gas?
Right.
The attention, not only from the other people looking at you, your own attention is on the object. Hoping that it comes back to you. And it typically never does.
Yeah.
When if you would have just gone to God, also given yourself a little bit of love and been like, you know what? Why do I need these people to tell me that I'm great? A big part of me says, well, I'm not great. So it'd be kind of nice if someone told me. But then it's like, have a little bit of self-awareness. Here we go. Bringing it back around.
Yeah.
Have some self-awareness. Recognize if you're not a good person, recognize where you're going wrong and go, I can be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And start to strive for that. If you are a good person, great. Recognize, give yourself a little bit of acknowledgement. Give yourself a pat on the back. Why do you need someone else to do it? I heard this one, and this one was a ringer. Why am I going to people who put Christ on the cross? Why am I going for their attention and praise when the perfect one couldn't even get it? You bastards killed Christ. I'm part of it. I'm just as bad as you guys. So don't look for my attention. Don't look for my love.
Don't look for my approval.
Yes. Don't look for my approval. Look to God's.
Yeah.
He's the only perfect one. Hell, this entire episode, I've probably been an asshole.
No. The whiskey helps.
But that's fine. Because a lot of this is joking. A lot, not all.
And you get to decide what isn't.
Yes. You don't need to tell me. You can keep it to yourself. But
that was a ringer.
Don't look for other people's approval if God couldn't even get it. But be able to give yourself a little bit of approval. Yeah. Give yourself a pat on the back when you do something good. Don't look for other people's. Give yourself a pat on the back. Go, God, you allowed me to do well. You allow me to do something good, especially when you do something for others with zero expectation of return.
Isn't that such an interesting dichotomy that we have with expectation? Because the Bible says to pray with expectation, and yet we're supposed to give without it. And that's such a weird thing to me, because like the things that we want, we should in my mind, the only reason that God says no to prayer is because it's not your time, or it's not good for you. It's not the time for it, or it's not good for you. Those are the only two times in my mind. And I'm not like saying this is the theology of Adam, so don't, whatever. But in my experience, at least, the only times he says no is because it's not your time or it's not for you. But you should always pray with expectation of an answer, at least.
Yes, you will get an answer.
But the prayer of expectation and then the giving of yourself without any. It's so backwards.
Do you think that's because God is the ultimate giver? Because he gives without expectation?
He is the provider, yes. I forget the Hebrew for that, but yeah.
But I think that comes from him. He's saying, act like me, be like me. I give you guys stuff. Yeah. I give you guys stuff. I give you guys great opportunities. I give you guys great love.
Graces,
with
everything, yeah.
Zero expectation of return.
Yeah.
Because most people haven't given it back.
Uh-oh. Careful. No, it's true.
Again. I almost sent one.
Careful, buddy.
I almost said F them.
But, I mean, there's...
sure, it's easy. We're sitting in an undisclosed location behind mics, behind a camera that's filming us. Sure.
Right. But it's easy to talk all these things, but we wouldn't talk all these things if we didn't experience these things. And that's what a lot of people
do, is talk about things they have zero experience of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Experience is the greatest teacher. And
if you ask for wisdom, God will give you experiences to learn it literally in your life.
Right.
That's the difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is knowing the definition of something, maybe even how it works. Wisdom is knowing how to not imply.
Apply.
Yeah.
Is knowing how to
Is
apply.
knowing how to apply it in real world scenarios
Right.
in life. Have you tried this?
I took a couple sips while you were
did?
talking.
It's really good. So we changed whiskeys, by the way.
Yeah, this is Russell's. Go for it.
This is a bottle I got here recently. Walked into Wine and Cheese Place. You know what? We'll do a little unsponsored shout out. Shout out Wine and Cheese Place.
Yeah.
Because they support your boys, Demetrius and Michael Steinkamp.
That's right.
Walked in there and saw 5 of the different options that Steinkamp with Investment Whiskey offers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Clayton's doing a good job.
But this is, I got this. I walked in, was trying a little bit of whiskey. This bottle was sitting on the taster table. And the guy was telling the lady behind the counter, well, this is from my private stash. I brought this in because I bought it a little while ago. But I wanted to exchange it for something else. Now, granted, this guy worked there.
Yeah.
I really hope I'm not getting you in trouble. Well, I'm not going to say your name. Ha, suck it, Wine and Cheese.
But also sponsor us.
Yes, please. We'll suck your whiskeys. But this is a Russell's Reserve Private Barrel Selection. It is a Wine and Cheese Place single barrel pick. It was stored for 9 years, so aged for 9 years. It was bottled back December 12th of 24. And, I mean, if you guys really want to know the barrel number, get into our Instagram. But yeah, it's a Wine and Cheese Place barrel pick of a private barrel of Russell's Reserve, and this is excellent. This is one of the better aromatic whiskeys, meaning it smells exquisite.
Yeah, it's stellar.
It smells like, kind of smells like a monkey bread or a monkey toast.
Oh yeah,
Like just a buttered bread coated in cinnamon, brown sugar.
yeah. I got brown sugar and icing. Like that's what I'm getting on the. Yeah.
Oh. This one's coming in at. Sorry, I'm rocking one contact. 110 proof. So it's a little hefty, but this is amazing.
The last was 119, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
We're moving to lighters.
Yes. That's usually better with your second one.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm out. But yeah, I stop to bring this back. I have some self-awareness, but also I have some self-awareness. Along with self-awareness is also some self-respect. I think it's incredibly hard to take an inward look at you if you don't at least have a little self-respect.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just going to beat the crap out of yourself.
Yeah.
The inward talk is just going to be completely negative. And if you don't have respect for yourself, you can't. This is my own opinion, so I will say that I don't think you can be truly honest with yourself and look inward to be able to notice the faults. Because once you notice the faults, if you don't have self-respect, again, I feel like, at least through personal experience, you'll just spend the next hours, days, weeks just beating on yourself going, look at you, you weak coward.
Yeah.
You couldn't do this, or you've been doing this when you know it's not right. But if you're able to like stop and go, okay, this is what I did wrong. What am I going to do to fix it? What am I going to do to turn the ship around? What small step can I take in order to at least get back in the right direction?
Yeah.
And it's similar. I think it's a very similar thing with just getting, like, if you're, from what I've seen with my own personal experiences of being like quick tempered, especially at work.
Sure.
there's scenarios that they frustrate me. Because when you have numerous coworkers telling you to do 4 different things, or doing the one thing in 4 different ways, you start doing it one way because one person's been there for a long time. You start doing it that way. Then someone else comes up and goes, "Oh no, I thought we were supposed to be doing it this way." So you start changing it and going back and doing things another way. And then all of a sudden your boss comes down and goes, "No, I wanted it this way," and it's not completely different, but it's different. So you have to triple back now.
Yeah.
Just to do it. It's frustrating. But those moments in which I've gotten angry, I've recognized, wait a minute. Oh, yes, I can feel anger. It's not a bad thing to feel feelings. It's another to wear them on your sleeve.
Yeah.
To not have the self-control to be able to go, okay, yes, I'm feeling this. Yes, I would love to absolutely put a chair to the back of this guy's head.
Yeah.
But what good is that going to do?
Yeah.
Number one, it won't even make me feel better.
Yeah.
Number two, like now I'm just going to have a massive mess on my hands. Oh, we can bring it down a notch. I don't need to be that extreme. Blowing up on somebody or just saying some choice words in which ultimately is going to affect my relationship with this other person. What good is that going to do?
Yeah.
Or let's put it to another scenario. I do something wrong and you, as my boss, belittle me.
Yeah.
The hell's wrong with you? You absolute mongoloid.
Yeah.
You oxygen thief. What the hell's wrong with you? How about you figure out your job and effing do it right?
Mm-hmm.
What good did all of that do? You could have just been, hey, listen, I actually wanted you to do it this way. Sure, as a boss, you have the right to go, why did you do that? Then I will explain myself. Well, the last time I did things this way, you belittled me. So I thought maybe doing it this way. So that way there's more communication.
Yeah.
But as a leader, if you're just degrading the people underneath you, what good is that going to do? If you let your anger get the best of you, what good is that going to do? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything productive in leading you to find common ground, a compromise if you're in an argument with a loved one. It does nothing but pull you further away from getting to the goal together.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I'm out.
You're out.
No.
Relight, bitch.
No, I mean.
Yeah, I have some self-awareness, have some self-respect, have some self-love. Listen, if God didn't love you, you wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
So listen, if God can love you with all of your mistakes, how about you show yourself some forgiveness.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to look inward completely.
Well, there's no way that you know yourself better than he does. And so if you're thinking something that he doesn't think about you, then it's probably false. Nope, not probably, is. If you're thinking something about yourself that he doesn't think about you, then it's false. Because you're not better than him. You're not all-knowing.
Your sins aren't also greater than him either.
No. And no sin is greater than his forgiveness. So why not forgive yourself?
Clink me, Daddy.
Thanks for joining us at the impromptu table.
Thanks for joining us for our final episode ever.
We are the Bourbonists. We have...
Ooh, me first. Dan.
And Adam. We'll see you next time. Bye.